Don't mess with me, pork chop. What day is this?
It's February 2nd. Groundhog Day.
You know, I thought it was yesterday.
Oh.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and I don't know, I guess I kind of missed this when I read Batman Urban Legends. I have not been reading the backup stories all that much because I found out how uninteresting they were compared to the Red Hood story, but there was a Tim Drake story from, I think it's Megan, is it Fitzmartin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure who the writer was. I perused the first few pages, I was bored, and I did not read it, but appears, at least from when I went back and read it, it does appear to imply that perhaps Tim Drake is bisexual or perhaps gay, kind of similar to what James Tynion did with Alan Scott in the Green Lantern 80th anniversary special. And here to talk with you about that is comic book writer and editor Joe Corallo. How you doing, Joe?
I'm all right, Wes. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I didn't realize I was even going to be talking about this, but I was seeing a lot of comments on my channel saying if they make Tim Drake gay or bi and all this, I was like, I don't even understand where this is coming from. Now that I realize, I figure I should go back and read it and check it out. And I see where people get this impression because he is talking to Oracle, and she has correctly figured out that there's something bothering him, her and I guess his ex-girlfriend, spoiler. And they are not sure what it is. They think it has something to do with university, but when he finally hangs up, he decides he's going to go out for dinner, and he meets his old friend Bernard. And when they're coming up, he's very nervous about this encounter, and he says to himself, "But he looks," implying maybe that he looks great or something like that. And they sit down and have dinner. What did you think about this, Joe? Do you think it's subtle, or is it overt? Do you think it even implies that he might be gay or bisexual?
I don't know. This feels queer-baity to me. It feels like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. There's nothing explicit enough for no real reason. Normally, if a character goes on a date, they have a caption or something that says they're going on a date or something like that. Or, oh, I'm nervous about my date. Like when Bruce meets up with a woman and it's a date, they're very clear about that. Mm-hmm. This feels very queer-baity. But at the same time, I'm not really convinced that's what's going on here, which is what queerbait is. It's like, oh, we're going to kind of lead you on here for a bit, but like it's done in a way that could easily be dismissed. Because nothing's explicit. So if no one likes it, it's very easy to be like, oh, no, that's fine. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, if I haven't seen someone since Robin 140 came out, and they were a friend of mine, I'd probably give them a hug too, But yeah.
Well, would you be nervous that your jacket didn't fit right and that they look so good? I'm not certain. I'm with you. It's very. You can certainly take it one way or you can take it multiple ways. Really, that you could come away with it being nothing. But here's the problem when DC or other publishers do stuff like this. First, the people that are longtime Tim Drake fans that don't want to see a change like this are going to be pissed. And then some people that when they see this might be an upcoming change, they're going to love it. And you're stuck in a rock and the hard place. And a lot of times you end up kind of going with the new change because you can't let people down in today's, business culture, Joe.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just the whole thing's weird. Bernard doesn't feel like, I mean, he barely talks, but he doesn't feel like the Bernard from that run. Tim Drake also just feels kind of off.
He feels a lot younger than he has in recent incarnations in DC Comics.
Yeah, like I really don't understand this. It's very weird. Also, Bernard was created by Bill Willingham, known for Fables, and I heard we're not supposed to like him right now, so it's a weird choice to use, but all right.
We're not. Why don't we like Bill Willingham?
I mean, I don't have a problem with Bill, but that's if you go on Twitter, people are very upset that Fables is coming back. So,
Oh, I thought it was great news. I'm kind of excited about it.
But yeah, that's something that is ruffling certain people's feathers. So yeah, that's it's another thing. It's like, ooh, I don't know. It's weird though, because if this comic was done in a different way, people would mention that and be upset by that. But you look past it when you're trying to get another thing. It's all of it's very weird and hypocritical. So
I think it's weird that they let a creator like Megan Fitzmartin, who I don't even know who that creator is associated with as far as characters, come in here. And if this is a change, and I'll be honest with you, Joe, I think they probably are going to go ahead with this one, that they would let a creator of this stature with virtually no connection to the character make a change of this magnitude. At least James Tynion, is he the Alan Scott guy? No, but at least he's a big name writer at DC Comics. Mm-hmm. It provides a level of credibility to the change.
Sure. I mean, I have no idea who Megan Fitzmartin is. I'm sure she's great. But yeah, I have no idea. This again feels like if that is what they're doing, and I still don't know if they are, because again, it could be very queer baity, kind of willy wony, who knows, and they leave it at that, and then they just move on and let someone else decide if they're going to go with it or not. I don't know. It's just, it feels...
If they're going to do this, Tim Drake is a remarkably good candidate. He's not important enough to, he's not Batman. he's not Dick Grayson or something like that. But he's prominent enough being a former Robin that, you could say that you made a big change.
Yeah, but again, it feels very corporate, cynical. It's very just like...
Some people say they should call my channel Thinking Cynical, and I agree with them.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's like, is this just what you do with characters with the last name Drake? Is that what we're doing? It's Bobby Drake, Tim Drake. It's just...
Maybe it's a Drake thing.
Yeah, maybe it's just a Drake thing. But yeah, it's a shame, because it's very similar to Iceman in the sense that, again, it was like, who can we pick that's like important? Not too important, but people know him, and we just have no idea what to do with the character. I hate that this feels like they just don't know what to do with the character.
He's a cool character. He's the one that's most similar to Bruce Wayne. So in that case, I guess you could say he's somewhat redundant because Bruce Wayne's still there.
Sure.
But, you look at the candidates to replace him, like Tim Drake is the one that would be the most Batman-like.
I really like Tim Drake. A lot of people like Tim Drake, especially fans of the 90s comics in particular. But I don't understand. Again, it just feels like it's coming from a place after he was Red Robin, after the whole, just calling him Drake thing. Like it just seems like we've been going through the motions of what do we do with this character? I don't know. And this feels more along the lines of what can we do to create buzz around this character more than what is the natural next step, or what are things we can do? Like it would feel better if they had a firmer grip on the character and this was a natural progression rather than this feeling more like a stunt. And that's what I don't like about it.
Well, it's kind of not exactly what we're talking about here, but it's a bigger problem with DC Comics. They create a lot of legacy characters, and they can create redundant legacy characters. How many fucking Robins can you have in one universe?
Sure.
we got Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Spoiler, Orphan. We got Jamie and Wayne. There's probably a couple more in there that I'm not even thinking about. I think they just introduced a new Robin that's associated with the next Batman. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot of goddamn Robins.
There are way too many Robins. It's pathetic that people strive to be Robin. I mean, who sees Batman protecting the city and goes like, "Oh man, one day I sure hope I can be Robin." Like that's pathetic. It's no one does that. It's weird. There shouldn't be a Robin legacy. People should want to be Batman. That's why it makes sense. You have characters, like Nightwing and Red Hood and others who like kind of graduate from that. Tim Drake has existed for like 30 years now. Move on. Don't
do something with the
Robin
character
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Tim Drake should not be Robin anymore. It should be
or Red Robin. It's the same.
Yeah, not Red Robin. Like that's a chain restaurant franchise. Why?
Just call him Big Burger while you're at it. Come on, Big.
You know, he has to be a bird. It's you got to do something to revitalize this character. This character, if they put the work in, could have been a decent, like, you know, mid-card solo book or part of a small team that
leader of one of the younger, smaller teams, like a Young Justice or whatever. If you wanted to put a little bit of time and money into promoting a book like that, but
sure.
But here they're just kind of courting controversy, and it's, you know, I think we've talked about this a little bit earlier. It's like JLQ. Once you even put out the idea that you might do it, you almost pot committed to do it now. Yeah, no, for sure. I think there, you know, you might get more of a push for this, but you know, people could also forget about it in a few months or so. You know, this will come out, and then I just hope that this doesn't turn into, now Tim Drake will be a character that we put in an anthology a couple of times a year and in a special, and you know, we just like discard him and only roll him out when we feel like it, like with you know, Pied Piper and some of these other characters. Like I hope that's what they did with Iceman over at Marvel. Essentially queer washed him to where he's a character of a sitcom queer character rather than being Bobby Drake anymore. And he doesn't even sound like the same character or even had the same experiences growing up. He just flipped on a dime one day.
Well, I think what might even be worse is that he's one of the least important characters in Hickman's X-Men. Like this whole era, he has been completely inconsequential to anything.
No, when I was reading Marauders, he'd show up for one or two panels, even though he's an Omega level mutant.
Yeah. But no, this is after all that stuff with Iceman, he's become one of the least important members of the team. I mean, the Angel is doing more in Hickman's X-Men. It you know, Beast is a far more consequential character. Like, what are you guys doing? Like that's the kind of thing that's upsetting, is they do this kind of stuff to characters, but then they deprioritize them after they come out or after they decide to make them, you know, a queer character. Then it's like, oh great, here, let's get all the praise, and now let's never talk about them again. And I hope that doesn't happen here.
Well, we certainly haven't seen Alan Scott since you know, he came out. Although it sounds like he will play a prominent role in this Infinite Frontier miniseries when it comes out. I know there's some type of digital thing, but I haven't been reading. But I don't know. It's I can understand why people are upset, though. You know, we've seen it before, even when it's subtle.
Sure, you know. But the other thing too is if he's bi, I don't think there's that much to, you know, like people should be upset about that. You know, there are plenty of people, like, that doesn't retcon previous relationships or anything like that. You know, if they decide to go more of that like Iceman route and be like, oh, he's just completely gay and we have to figure out why he was pretending and doing this stuff, and that would be one thing. But you know, if he's bi and that's what they want to do and they keep going with it, and you know, I don't think that's a big deal or anything like that. But yeah, we'll have to see if they even go beyond that, or if it's just going to be, you know, putting down the seeds there for someone doing that in the future. You know, it's possible this, you know, writer isn't part of that. It's just like, oh, let's introduce it here, see how things go, and then James or someone else on a bigger bat title can decide if they want to go that route or not. That might also be what's happening.
Perhaps so. There are people that are upset about it. Like I said, it is very nuanced. It's subtle, but you can absolutely see where people are coming from. It felt similar to what they did with Alan Scott, where it's just an encounter. Mm-hmm. There's nothing explicitly explained, but he does go visit the young man's mother afterwards and kind of explain why he was important. We haven't got to anything that to that degree, but I don't know. These changes, how often do these kind of changes, these reworks of a character really work?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's been some versions of these things that have worked just fine. I think Richter and Shatterstar worked fine. Pied Piper worked very well. And that was a great issue, Flash 53 from Bill Loebs and Greg LaRocque. I mean, there are definitely things that they do this in, and it works fine. So we'll see. Again, this might just be all this sort of kerfuffle for them to turn around and be like, "What were you all getting upset about?" But again, I won't. I don't care if he's bi. That doesn't bother me at all. What annoys me is the idea that they'll do this and then discard him anyway and still have no idea what to do with him and be like, well, we're all out of ideas and just.
Well, you had an idea. You can't even use it now.
Yeah.
What do you wanted to make him and Spoiler the new Hawk and Dove?
That'd be great. I think you do something like that, put him in a different city, give him some of his own villains, like it'd be great.
Yeah. A lot of these Batman associated characters need to get the Nightwing treatment. Yes, he's associated with Batman, but he's got his own mission and his own things that he's dealing with, and it makes him more important. I felt like when Jason Todd was doing the Red Hood and the Outlaws thing, where he was kind of away from Batman, it give the character some space and let him do something with them. Yeah. I don't know. This is the change that's going to get Tim Drake back on track, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but then you have to keep putting the work in, and I hope that whatever they do, they keep putting the work in, they keep trying, they keep I would rather they try to come up with a new identity for him that's going to get him, stop having him be Robin, build up Tim Drake as his own character, maybe put him in a new city, build him up, that'd be great, and he can be bi during that. I don't care, but actually put the effort in and make Tim a character we really care about.
You almost said Bobby.
Because they're both great.
You know what's happening. Yeah. We both know what's happening. We shall see. Nothing obviously is written in stone, but
sure.
The cynical part of me says, I've seen this before.
Sure, but yeah, again, I hope they put the effort in and do something, fun and with Tim and really build him up to be his own.
We know he's supposed to be a big part of James Tynan's upcoming big Halloween themed event. He said Tim Drake was going to be front and center in that event.
Yeah, that'd be great, and and
could be his coming out party.
Well, no, that could be like we were saying. This writer maybe is setting this up so that way when James brings it in, maybe there's something going on there. It could be interesting to maybe set Tim up as this bi character. Maybe had this crush on this old friend, sees him again. Bernard's not into that, but maybe it comes out to Bernard, and now he's this sort of character who's grapple. Now he's out as bi, and he's doing. Maybe he can break off and start doing his own thing, or find a new identity, build up his confidence again, like that. That could all be very interesting. And James, can handle all that, and I think could do a good job with that. So I'm more than happy to see that. Again, you just got to keep the follow through. Don't do this event. Don't have James do this and then drop the character again and then figure out what to do. Just keep doing stuff with Tim. Tim's great. I love Tim. You got to read some prime Tim in City of Crime. I thought he was great in that.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of great stuff you can do with Tim. I want to see them keep doing great. Well, not keep doing good. Go back to doing great stuff with Tim. Really build him up, and I'd love to see that. I'd love to see a new generation of fans gravitate towards Tim, and the opportunity might be here between this and building up with what James is doing. So I hope they stick the landing.
We shall see. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you.